With the World Championships over, a new champion crowned and an updated World Rankings list, it's now time to turn our attention to what implications that will have on the upcoming season. Hello guys, welcome to Dead in the Dom. My name's Phil, and in today's video we're going to run through the updated World Rankings list, discuss the winners and losers, and I'm also going to highlight 5 players that I'm going to tip for success this year and 5 players that I think are going to really struggle to maintain their position. If you do enjoy this one, please remember to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel and we really appreciate all the support we get. So just before we get started, I just wanted to run through how the ranking system actually works, just for those of you that perhaps were unsure, or for the casual fan that was interested to know. So they actually work on a 2-year rolling system. As you can see, the top 16 on the screen right now, Judd Trump is currently at the top with 1.9 million points, or pounds as it's put there. That's because you get a point for every pound you earn on tour at selected events. So I say selected events because it has to be a ranking event. There are some very prestigious events out there that don't count towards your ranking, most notably the Masters, one of the Triple Crown events. That's an invitational event. Sean Murphy won it this year and none of his prize money obviously counted towards his world ranking. So essentially, when you're playing in a ranking event, you're actually defending the points you earned 2 years ago. So a key example of that is Luca Brazil. When he went into this year's World Championship, he was the champion from 2 years ago. So the fact he went out in the first round last year didn't impact him at the time, because I think he only fell from number 3 to number 7 in the world. But he's fallen all the way down to number 39 in the world, because he just lost 500,000 points that he was defending. He only earned 50,000 for reaching the quarterfinals, so he has now fallen all the way down to number 39 in the world, off of the back of that loss of ranking points. So in terms of the updated top 16, we've only got 2 movers in and 2 movers out, which is Zhao Xintong going in at number 11, Chris Wakelin at number 16, who replaced Jack Jones, who dropped all the way down to 21, and Brazil, who's fallen, as I mentioned, all the way down to number 39. So to try and demonstrate this a little bit better, I've made a table here where you've got obviously the player, their ranking, their movement from last year. So obviously Judd Trump and Kyron Wilson, you can see they remain 1 and 2. Mark Williams and John Higgins have switched position. So Mark Williams has gone up 1, John Higgins has gone down 1. And you've also got their 2-year ranking points there. So Judd Trump on 1.9 million. You've also got the 1-year money list. So he's earned just under 1.2 million ranking points in the 1 year, which means going into the new season, he is defending 791,000. So when you consider he earned 1.2 million this year, he's only defending 791k for next year. He's in a good position to hold rank next year. Any player that I've highlighted in red on that column is a player that I call in a deficit. So what I mean by deficit is they have to defend more points this year than what they actually earned last year, which for me, some players can overcome and do that, but for most players that's going to be quite tough, because the last year is your sort of current form, recent form, and you're defending points from 2 years ago where perhaps you overperformed or your performance has dropped off. But either way, I'm selecting the players in red. They've got a deficit, are going to have a hard time this year maintaining their ranks. But on the flip side of that, you are going to have some players with very achievable targets. So the opposite to being a deficit, where they're going to have quite an easy time defending the points they earned 2 years ago. So the first person I'm going to highlight is Neil Robertson. He moved up 1 place from number 9 to number 8. But as you can see, he won quite a lot of prize money this year. So he only has to defend 75,000 points from the year before. So considering he earned just under 500,000 points the last year, that's going to be quite easy for him to do. So I would more than expect him to be in the top 6 come the end of the season. World champion Zhao Xintong next. All of his prize money was earned this year. It's essentially just the money he got at the UK and the money he got for lifting the trophy. So he's moved all the way up to number 11 with that rank. He defends absolutely 0 ranking points from 2 years ago. So obviously he was banned at the time, started from scratch. So any points he gets will now just add to the points he's already on, and I see no reason why he won't be in the top 4 at the end of this season. Zhao Xintong is another player that's had a fantastic year and has very little to defend from the year before. He only has 82,500 points to defend, and the fact he is already world ranked at number 13, he did go up 1 place, I believe, in the current rankings after the World Championships. But I think if he can perform anywhere near the levels he reached this year, there's no reason why he won't be a top 8 player at the end of the year as well. Wu Yi is another Chinese player that's had a fantastic year, and again only has 82,000 points to defend from the year before. He's already world ranked number 20, and I can see him seriously contesting the top 16, if not breaking through into that top 16 at one of the more established players' expense. And finally, you've got another Chinese player, another player that's defending 0 points, and this is Li Pifang. He's 206,000 he earned this year. If he did it again next year, he'd be knocking on the door of a top 16. But I feel perhaps he might do slightly better this year. So I'm tipping him to be my dark horse to make it into the top 16. If he doesn't make it into there, he'll be very close. I can't see him being any worse than 20th in the world when we finish next season's World Championships. Other players to note that are currently in the top 16 and I feel have very comfortable targets for the coming season are Shaun Murphy, CJ Wee and Chris Wakelin. I fully expect them to outperform the points they're defending and maintain their places in the top 16 this year. So now we're going to look at players that I expect to struggle to maintain their position, and we're going to start off with Ronnie O'Sullivan. I know I'm going to get a bit of hate for this, but do hear me out. He currently stands at number 5 in the world with 740,000 ranking points, but he goes into this season defending 545,000 of them. That is the equivalent of winning the World Championship or the Saudi Arabian Masters, or maybe like the UK. He's going to have to win one of those to defend all of those points, in my opinion. If there's anyone that can do it, it will be Ronnie, but there's also a Ronnie O'Sullivan thing to do, would be to not turn up to tournaments and not care about his ranking points. Me personally, I can't see him wanting to fall out of the top 16, so I think he will turn up to enough just to make sure he secures his top 16 status, because then he'll receive an automatic qualification to the World Championships, and then as soon as he gets there, he can make anything happen. But I feel if he doesn't improve or he carries on playing as poorly as he has, he's someone that's in great danger of falling out of the top 16, although I do expect him to just about hold on to his top 16 status. Mark Allen next. He's slowly sliding down the rankings. He was number 1 not too long ago, went into this year's World Championships at number 8. Hasn't won anything of note recently, and it seems to be doing far too much commentary and punditry work, a bit like Shaun Murphy, for my opinion anyway. He does go into this season with a deficit, only earned 200,000 points this year, he's defending 300,000 points. He should maintain his top 16 if he just carries on his normal performance, but falling out of the top 8, he was always seeded to reach the quarterfinals as the 8th seed. Now he's going to have to face someone slightly better, like a Selby or somewhere in the last 16, so it's actually now harder for him to get to quarterfinals, which obviously increases his chance that he'll lose ranking points. So I can see this being a really tricky season for Mark, and he'll have to outperform his seedings to keep his place in the top 16. But I think he probably will just about hold on to it, but he's going to fall down this season for sure. Zhang Anda next, and he's been really disappointing this year. He was one of the guys that was always one of my dark horses when I do like World Championship predictions, but he's let me down, but he's let his fans and followers down as well, and probably more importantly himself. 127,000 he earned on tour last season and has to defend 364. I fully expect him to drop out the top 16 come the end of the season, unless he goes really deep into sort of like the semi-finals of the World Championship, but I can't see that happening, and I think he'll drop out of the top 16. Ali Carter next, and he's not currently in the top 16, he's number 17. He's only 10,000 points behind Chris Wakelin, but I just think the poor form he's been in leading up to the World Championships and actually in the World Championships, I can't see him outperforming what he did last year. He also has a slight deficit, so he's defending 200,000 points against 170 that he earned last year. So I can't see him dropping down too far, but I definitely don't see him getting back into the 16. I think he'll probably be around sort of like the top 20 to 24 come the end of next season, depending on how he gets on at the Worlds. And finally, Jack Jones. He dropped from number 16 to number 21 just on the back of the World Championships. He only earned 90,000 points last season for the one-year money list. He's defending 234,000, 200,000 of which were his runner-up to Kyron Wilson at last year's Worlds. So theoretically, if he goes out in the first round, he's going to get 20,000 points for that, and he's going to lose 200,000 points. I see a really bad season for him if he carries on with the poor performances outside of the majors that he has shown, and I would not be surprised if he fell out the top 40. Hopefully he can turn it around, but I'm predicting a top 40 position for Jack Jones come the end of next season. And just another couple of players to add. Gary Wilson, Tom Ford and Dave Gilbert all have significant deficits that I don't see them being able to achieve. Therefore, I don't see them making any real threat on the top 16 this year either. They'll be hoping to maintain a top 24 to 32 position so that they're top seeds for World Championship qualifying. So that was my take on the latest World Snooker Rankings. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the players I've discussed on there. And also, if you want to hear more detail about any specific players, drop it in the comment section and I'll try to do a separate video covering that player. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.